Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mark Annan, and I bid you all welcome back to Gothic 2. Immediate apologies for anybody who thought we might be getting to some dragon shenanigans today. Main reason we're not is, well, first of all, even if we got to the Valley of Mines today, it takes some doing to get to the dragons, so I don't think we'd be able to do that in one episode. But the other thing is that there's actually a spell I was hoping to have by the time we get to the Valley of Mines, and I do not have the learning points to get it right now. Once you have done the restoration of the Eye of Innos and become a member of the High Circle, the 4th Circle of Magic is unlocked to you. So you don't have to wait until Chapter 4 actually begins. But there is a Circle 4 spell I want, and it takes 5 learning points to join the 4th Circle, and 5 to get the spell I want. Since we can't do that just yet, we're gonna kind of grind up some XP in the meanwhile. This was a cave I think we had seen before and I ignored. There's not really a whole lot of XP to be had here, but I figured we were in the neighborhood when we left off last time. I don't know why I'm picking raw meat off this skeleton. That, probably not healthy. But I just wanted to check this out while we were here, and we're gonna do some of the quests that are still in our log. Things that we can accomplish before we move on. Left, right, right. Left, right, 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 left. So this cave here actually has an interesting history to it. First time I ever played was, well, back in Gothic 2 Vanilla. This area was actually used apparently as a dumping ground for NPCs who left the zone. I may have mentioned this before, but when NPCs go between areas divided by loading screens, they don't teleport to it. The characters that are going to exist in that zone have to exist in that instance already. So what typically happens is the characters sort of despawned until they need to be there. And when they no longer need to be there, they're killed by a script and teleported to some random location. In Vanilla, I actually remember running into Gorn's corpse here. I was very shocked by it, because Gorn, as we heard him say, he intends to go back to the Valley of Mines once he's loaded up on grub at the landowner's farm. But his corpse was actually just right in the middle where those 2 skeletons were, and it's very bizarre. But, well, Piranhabytes seems to have realized that this place is a little too accessible, so they found a new dumping ground for all of their despawned NPCs. This boulder sure looks out of place, don't it? Kronos. Pedro?
Hey! Tell me about life in the monastery.
We live in the monastery in order to serve Innos. We novices perform the work and study the scriptures when we have the opportunity. The magicians watch over us, and they explore the arts of magic.
So this fellow sure didn't get far. He ran with the Eye of Innos all the way here, and then just hid in the caves below the circle. So you see that there are 4 individuals here. We got Sataras, Riordian, Murdarian, and Kronos. And actually, Nefarious is probably in this pile somewhere. Hard to tell. But the interesting thing about these is that they all carry this one piece of paper. And this is actually the piece of paper that they use in their animations when they're running around in the ruins. And you see them stop and read something. That's actually what they're reading. This is Kronos, and he's got all the gear that we sold him while he was here. And this is actually why he does not have the same merchant inventory when he ends up on the other side of the portal. But yes, they actually did not stop using this area as the dumping ground for their despawned NPCs. It still is being used. They just put this boulder here to make sure you couldn't find where they're keeping them. Left, right, right. Left, right, 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 left. Now, funny story about Pedro. If you are a mercenary, you will actually get an unassigned quest from Gorax, where he commands you to kill Pedro if you find him. That always gave me the sense that it was actually possible to find him alive in Khorinis somewhere. That is actually not the case, even though he is here. Obviously, you're not meant to find him here. And the fact that that quest never shows up in your quest log is really an indication that that's not meant to be possible. I'm thinking that it might have been something you could have done in the planning stages of this game, but they did not follow through with it. But at any rate, finding Pedro here under normal circumstances is not possible, and that's why he has no additional dialogue there. They did not implement anything beyond him just being the gatekeeper to the monastery. So anyway, what quest can we do here? Sheep Thieves. That's actually quite nearby, but it's a dangerous road to get there from here. So instead, why don't we start from the monastery, take a run back to Akel's farm. The sheep thieves that he's complaining about are actually in the same place, the same cave, where the bandits that had Garvel's note were hanging out. So that's as far as we need to go. Which is lucky, because a whole lot of new dangers have shown up in that forest in the meantime. Which we'll get a glimpse of once we get back there, so bear with me. So, starting from Akel's farm, head up the same road that we went to find the bandits with the stinking fish, and also the way we took to get to the stone circle with Lares earlier. Now, these guys are actually not hostile on sight, surprisingly.
Hey, you bum. You haven't come about that sheep, have you?
You stole the sheep from Akel the farmer.
So what? What are you gonna do about it?
Oh, nothing.
Nothing? What's that stupid sheep to me?
Then don't get on my nerves. Beat it.
Yeah, sure. We'll hit the road in a second. Hang on. Where's my storm? 8. Gonna back. Weirdly, he's not hostile when we take our magic out. Oh, now he is.
That magic.
I think not. I just want to make sure I don't hit the sheep.
Just you wait, you son of a bitch.
Okay, I thought that would do a bit more, but it did not. No big deal.
Stop right there, you lowlife!
You try and stop me. And little sheep. And I can't wait until I have spells that actually have some impact.
I'm gonna rip you to pieces.
I almost think I might have been better off not leading with a storm spell. It might have done more damage if I just used the ice lance. Oh no, that one disappeared. Oh, I wanted his loot. Do I reload? I don't think I even saved. So I guess I don't reload. How foolish of me. But yes, if you go too far into this forest now, you'll run into troubles such as the orc elite out there. A lot of orcs have moved into these woods. This is one of those cases where you might have been discouraged by some dangerous monstrosities out there exploring in the earlier chapters. Well, it only gets worse if you wait. Unfortunate.
Come with me.
Bah. You ain't no Betty. Now, as before, sheep are a little bit slower than you are, so you gotta make sure you don't lose them. Seeker. Thank God it's not one of the hostile on-sight ones. We did go around last time checking in on all of the former bandit slaves that we released. Man, you guys come all the way back here. Akhil can't even be gracious enough to give you guys a couple of shirts. Wait for the sheep to catch up.
I found the sheep rustlers. You were right. Those fellows in the forest cave did it. They'll never steal sheep from you again.
Thank you, noble servant of Innos. Take this as a small token of thanks for the selfless favor you did for me.
It is interesting to see how many NPCs in quests that are available to everyone, where they actually have slightly different dialogues based on your guild.
Very good. Here's a few gold coins. I hope it's enough.
That is one expensive sheep. I remember how much Pepe charged for his sheep. Old Pepe Sylvia. We can no longer talk to the sheep. You might have seen that the sheep actually popped forward slightly during that dialogue. I think it's because they actually changed it out with a different sheep that you can't talk to. It's kind of funny to think of all the weird little coding tricks that Brownobites had to do to compensate for some of the shortcomings in their engine. You know, thinking of the way that the NPCs have to be killed off in order to make sure that they don't appear in two zones at once. And then I think the reason why Mixier's corpse was not in there is because his was revived when he came back and went to town. I actually have no idea where the corpse disposal unit is in Jarkandar. I know where it is in the valley, which is much harder to find. But I don't know why they couldn't come up with an area outside of the accessible zone to put these people.
Hey!
Why it had to be in a cave that you would very easily find on your own.
Show me your...
The one in
May...
the Valley of Mines definitely is not. I am short on potions, so let's stock up. So yeah, this video is going to be a little more misguided. Not as planned as my usual ones, simply because, well, I didn't really plan to still be here. But I desperately need the spell. We don't need the pirate armor, we don't need the low rank mage armor anymore. We don't need that because we have the priest's set of jewelry. We can honestly ditch all these weapons. I'm not going to level up strength enough to use anything better. And I like to have this staff just for the mana bonus. We have no need for a pickaxe anymore, but I'm kind of paranoid of selling it now, since I ended up needing it after I sold it last time. Alright. What else? We still are gonna need mana potions, so let's head to town. And get whatever we can find there.
Show me.
That's something. What else do we have? Didn't we have we have the Divine Power of the Stars that we gotta find. Zurus actually sells that. We're heading his way anyway.
Show me.
Okay, well, he sells that too, so might as well buy it from him. I guess while we're in the neighborhood here, we actually picked up something in Jarkandar, in one of the treasure sites. You might recall that Abuyin here was asking us to try and concoct different blends of tobacco. And the only one he's actually interested in is honey tobacco. You can come up with a couple other ones, such as this. He doesn't actually want this. I can show you what he says if you give him one he doesn't like. But swampweed tobacco we can actually use for somebody else.
I've got a new tobacco blend.
Let me try your tobacco. No, I'm afraid this mixture does not agree with me. But maybe you'll find somebody else who really appreciates this delicacy.
I don't remember if he says that the same thing. Says that's not English. I don't remember if he says the same thing. If you give him a certain other blend that we can make. I'm pretty sure he does, though. Interesting that he did not have any psychedelic effects from it. But really, the one he's interested in is the one that's all about flavor and not alternative experiences.
Let me try your tobacco.
Wow, that was fast.
This tastes incredible. I've never had a better smoke in my life. How did you prepare this blend?
I mixed the tobacco with honey.
You have done well, father of the art of blending. I would be delighted to fill my miserable pipes with this.
Fill her up, then.
Thank you, son of generosity. No other blend could be as good as this one. I shall buy every bit you can bring me of this.
Wow, he is very enthusiastic. So he will buy any honey tobacco you bring him now. The problem is he pays 10 gold for every portion of honey tobacco you bring him. But every portion of apple tobacco that you would buy to make it also costs 10 gold. And that's not even accounting for the cost of the honey. So what he pays is not worth the actual ingredients.
You're selling mining shares?
Yes, some flop that was. That's the last time I get involved in a shady deal like that.
Glad you learned your lesson, but unfortunately we have to make it worth it for you.
Who says things like that?
So yeah, 10 gold to buy apple tobacco. That's how much he sells it for. You don't have any mana potions, damn.
Take care of everything for
I really cleaned you people out.
He had better shut up.
So we can check in with
Things like that.
Salandrill upstairs. So the whole reason I didn't go to back to the Valley of Mines today was to level up, and we leveled up in the first 20 minutes of this episode, not accounting for travel
But
time.
so great was the wrath of Beliar that he came
But
across
whatever,
the land
we can do this whole mining shares thing. But as I said, we don't actually want to turn in the perpetrator of it just yet, because, well, kind of a spoiler, but the perpetrator himself is Salandrill, and Salandrill's merchant inventory expands as the chapters go on. So turning him in now just means that he will be unavailable as a merchant for the rest of the game.
Hey,
You got anything good?
Sure.
Nope. I like how he's all about rare goods, but most of the stuff he has is pretty generic.
I've heard you were with the paladins in the Valley of Mines. I'm impressed. You should take your time and browse my goods. Right now, I have a very special potion to offer.
Do you now?
Show me your wares.
It's my pleasure, Reverend Brother.
So we can see that he has 2 mining shares here. The special potion he is talking about is this Dexterity Potion, which is pretty nice, I guess. But he still has a hilariously small stock compared to Zurus, who he talks shit about. So we can buy these now, because we can actually make our money back from Serpentes afterwards. But if you do this now, you're committing to it. We will not commit. We're doing the same thing we did with Fernando. We knew he was a shady crook
You don't have to tell me that.
for a long time, but we kept him around till he was of no more convenience to us. So the only other person who would have potions around here would be Sagita. I'm not sure I feel like running all the way out there. Let's sniff around for some more mining shares. I'm sure there's a few more in town.
Got my own opinion about that. Will it ever change?
There you are again.
Here I am again. think I already bought yours, didn't I? Well, Mateo is somewhat of a shady bastard.
You've got some mining shares among your wares. Who sold them to you?
Mining shares? Oops. Where did they come from? No idea where I got them. Honestly, Your Honor.
As if I believe you.
Show me.
You only got the one, though. Oh yeah, he didn't even check in with this one.
Eldritch will work for you again from now on.
I can only hope that he won't disappear again when the next little tart waves her skirt at him. Take this gold as a reward for bringing back my apprentice.
That's a lot of gold for a guy who perpetually claims to be broke. Constantino didn't have any mining shares. I think this feller might. He does not. Corrigan, ever the paragon of honesty.
His wisdom did so.
Nobody ever asked for my opinion.
Oh yeah, we gotta give Baltram his rum after all this time.
Who says things like that?
Where did you get those mining shares you're selling?
Sorry, but I can't tell you. It's too dangerous for me.
Too dangerous. You literally
It's
sell
an honor to me.
weapons to the militia. I think they can protect you, and if you are accosted, you got a fucking arsenal to defend yourself with.
That's not what my husband thinks.
Show.
Oh, shocking that Jorah is not one of the crooks.
But that's terrible.
Sarah would not be, because Sarah may not even make it to this chapter, depending on your actions.
Really?
It's actually interesting. Somebody a while back was trying to rationalize why Sarah deserved to be apparently killed off by what's his name? Canthar.
Who says things
Like, their rationale made no sense to me. They were talking about how, like, Canthar, like, Sarah must have, like, done some kind of crime to get the stall. Therefore, Canthar was justified in killing her, even though he was a crook himself. And that he deserved to blackmail you because you must have been a criminal if you were in the colony. Man, it was just... the rabbit hole of that thought process stretched beyond the core of the earth.
I got the rum from Skip, but he gave me no more than 2 bottles.
Damn expensive, that. Who does he think he is? Well, give it here, then. I can't give you much for it now. This here's gotta be enough.
That is no amount of money at all. Well, really, holding on to that package for so long was just to cheapen the entry fee to get into the pirate camp. Which I believe I said before. Turns out you can't actually get in for free if you do everything. I'm just an idiot and I never actually tested how much money he takes off for dealing with the bandits in the tower. But no matter. We are past that point. Why am I going this way? I'm pretty sure I have the teleport stone to the tavern. The only other merchants around here are Orlan here.
Same old thing all over.
You're selling mine shares?
Sure, you can get anything from me. If the price is right.
Yeah, he's the only one who didn't seem to understand that we're calling him out for it and not asking for it.
Certainly.
He's only got the one.
Couldn't care less.
And the only other folk are on the landowner's farm here. Actually, I think Sekhob's wife has some too. I don't know why they would have them all the way out here. I don't know how these people plan on trading stocks all the way out here, but
Hey,
especially when they're working with the rebelling peasantry.
hello, pretty girl.
I haven't talked to you yet.
They say you are revolting against the king.
My father has decided that it's time we defended ourselves. The militia never helped us anyway. They only came here to drag off our provisions.
You're selling mine shares?
So what? I paid an arm and a leg for them myself.
Well, that was a very bad deal of yours.
What's your job here?
I sell the goods that we produce. If you want to buy something, just let me know. But let me warn you, I won't stand for either haggling or stealing, understood?
Neither of which I can do.
Show me your
The game mechanics do not allow it. You got two of them. Again, no idea how she planned on trading those, so... She doesn't have anything. Now, Errol definitely doesn't have any because this quest existed before he even was added to the game. So, I believe the last merchant we can check in on is Sekhob's wife. Well, I don't remember if I ever talked to before either. I think early on in this walkthrough, I was ignoring a lot of characters who had actual things to say, just by virtue of the fact that I don't need to get every piece of flavor text that's going on in this game. Y'all can find that for yourselves. Obviously, any NPC you come across has something to say, but I cannot busy myself in finding all of that.
Hey, you! Selling illegal mine shares. Have you no shame?
No, I need to live too, and I'm not the one who brought them into circulation.
Well, who was?
What can you...
What do you want?
I think that's the last one that's available. But most importantly, there's a lot of money we can get from Serpentes by turning them in. This is another patch of woods where quite a lot of monstrosities move in. With each chapter. We want to be careful out here. There actually is something really cool nearby that I'm not going to do now. I don't think it's really within our means, and it's the kind of thing I like to save for towards the end of the game. It's one of the cooler / creepier areas in this game. That is actually the Bandit Camp. I wanted to go this way. You really want to start shit? I don't start shit, I end shit. There's a seeker over there. No idea what he's on the lookout for. I realized I could have probably just cleared these woods and gotten the XP I wanted anyway. But you know what? I wasn't quite ready to move on to the Valley of Mines. But I wanted to get a video out. Just so y'all know I'm not deliberately slacking. Apparently I sold her the magic crossbow, which means I probably was here. And probably bought all her potions.
Tell me!
I did indeed, damn. Alright, well, we're running a little dry. Oh, yeah, we never finished that. The only way you can finish this is by buying the additional bottles of grog. I didn't actually mean to leave that quest open, but maybe I'll chuck that in a subsequent episode. Just record it outside of a normal episode, but just have it done. We can do this. We can turn this in. We can turn that in. Oh, we never did that either. Dang it. I got 2 reasons to go back to Jarkandar. Oi. Well, anyway. Let's just do this shit at the monastery. I don't remember if we get XP for turning over the shares, or if the XP we got from calling out the owners of them was all we get.
Anything's possible.
But let's do this.
That's really not my problem.
I've been able to retrieve a few mining shares. Those were all, I think.
Well done. You've earned a reward. Take this protective amulet. It will help you along the paths you have yet to tread.
Well, that's a lot of money. Magic protection. Well, that ain't much. So I actually don't remember at what point the roadside shrines are purified. That's, as we saw before, a quest for militias/paladins to deal with.
Can't go on like this forever.
But anyway, it's time to get the spell that I actually want, and Karras in here is the one who teaches us the fourth circle.
You don't have to ask me that.
Well, let's turn this book over first.
Hey! I've got the book for you.
Very good. Give it here. You may withdraw now. I shall retire and study.
You do that.
Hey, you! I've brought back the Eye of Innis.
I am relieved you were able to snatch the eye away from the enemy, but the danger has not been averted. Evil is making further plans and is proceeding with unusual aggression.
I've already figured that out for myself.
Do not mock me. The situation is serious, very serious, and we don't know whom we can trust. The enemy has already succeeded in leading the novice Pedro into temptation, and he may have success with many others.
Actually, Pedro seems to think he's still guarding the monastery, but he's just down in the dirt.
Is there a way to protect oneself against the mental attacks of the Seekers?
No idea.
Have we not done that whole bit?
How are your studies coming along?
I am still working on the interpretation of the evidence about the Seekers. As soon as I know something, I will, of course, inform you immediately.
Was that time sensitive? I don't remember.
I want to learn the fourth circle of magic.
Good. All the signs are fulfilled. Enter now the fourth circle so that the power of the new magic will be within you. You have come a long way, and Innos will continue to light your path.
Thank goodness for that. So, the spell I actually want... Let's just look over the Circle 4 spells.
That's totally obvious.
Just to get an idea of what else we can get. That's the first. That's the sixth. There's the fourth. So, large fireball, lightning, awaken golem, destroy undead. Golems are not that useful because golems can be stun locked very easily. Destroy undead can be helpful. Large fireball I don't really recommend. It can do quite a bit of damage, but it takes a lot of mana to fully charge it. And it takes a lot of time. What I actually want is the lightning, because the Circle 4 lightning spell is a very quick cast and does a lot of damage.
Teach me.
So it's essentially the same. It's just it's almost like you're leveling up the what you call it, the basic projectile spell. So in Circle 1 you have the fire arrow that deals 25 damage for 5 mana. Circle 2 you get the fireball, which does 75 damage for 15 mana. But it's always like a 5-to-1 damage to mana ratio. And it's no different with the lightning spell, but at least that means that with one cast, we do more damage. You just have fewer casts overall. You know, rock crystal, glacier quartz. I think I have both of those. I do indeed. Do I have a lightning scroll? I do indeed. The only other spell I would want is to summon skeletons. Because the nice thing about summoning spells is that there's no limit to how many you can summon at once.
You better watch out who you tell that to.
So you can repeatedly cast it and get a fair few skeletons following you around. Obviously, they expire after a certain amount of time. But the trick to bear in mind is that summoning the same creature summoning multiple of the same creature, they will be friendly towards each other. But if you summon like a skeleton and a wolf, they'll attack each other. The only exception to this are demons. Demons...
Khorinis.
Hello, you scared me. Demons will actually even attack each other. So that gets very annoying. I don't believe... We don't know how to... We don't have a spell for summon Skelemons. Karras would be the one to teach us. We don't have the learning points for it, so we'll have to live without it. But I will want to invest in some summoning scrolls, because they will help us quite a lot in Chapter 4.
Show me.
We're gonna buy that. Let me make sure...
Teach me.
Yeah, so we haven't learned it yet. Would have been well worth it, but we'll manage.
Show me.
And obviously, anytime we level up in the Valley of Mines, we can just come back here. These transform spells are not that useful. Funny how transformation became a very accessible magic type, in spite of the fact that it was supposedly invented by, or at least discovered by, the Sekhob camp.
I need a...
Was it? No, I can't remember. I know they had all the psychological spells like telekinesis and possession and stuff. I don't remember if they were specific on transformation spells. I remember we found the ancient ones. That transformed into meat bugs and stuff. Just selling all the spells I don't actually need. Not gonna need that anymore. Although, to be fair, the spell scrolls, even to a mage, can still be useful if you're concerned about conserving mana, since most of them only cost 5 mana to cast. Keep the transform ones. And that'll do. You didn't happen to have... You do. We'll take those. Okay. Oh, yeah! We have the list of possessed weirdos, don't we? Vino, Malik, Bromar. Oh, Malik! That was a whole subplot that we haven't dealt with yet. Let's head back to the landowner. Because he actually is in that neighborhood. Now, I gotta give you fair warning. I've had bad experiences doing this quest. In my last walkthrough. Which got very frustrating, so I highly recommend... Oh, yeah. Highly recommend you follow my, sequence of operations here. First of all, we gotta get rid of this asshole. Oh, here we get to see the trick, as long as he expires. So you see, when they die while frozen, you have access to their hidden inventory. Actually, no, you don't. What the hell? Huh. Wow, it didn't work that time.
Nothing to be had there.
That's actually a trick that usually works, where if they die to the frost damage, they don't fall over, and their entire hidden inventory of spells that they, that are exclusive to the Seekers, you can actually loot them. It's an exploit, but it lets you see the spells that they use that you don't get. If you ever wondered why their fireballs seem so much more powerful than yours. So, as I said, we got issues with Malik. So what I'm gonna suggest is once shit kicks off, we lead him away from the rest of the peasants here.
You will not be able to save his soul, magician. He will never return on his own.
Actually, they all run away. Forgot about that. That's not what I meant to use. I thought I was using this. So I forgot that they actually run away when that stuff happens, but the reason I said not to fight him too close to them is that at some point in the game, a weird switch seems to flip with NPCs, where they suddenly get real bloodthirsty with anybody you knock down, and go absolutely apeshit, and everybody just comes in to stab them to death. Sometimes it can be funny, sometimes it can be really annoying.
You need help.
I just want to go home. I'll go back to Bengar. I hope he's still alive.
You do that. Now make sure you don't try to follow him or nothing, because if he runs into anything on the way, he's got no hit points right now. Holy crap, I never picked this up. It's another thing we gotta accumulate some learning points for. The stone tablets. Now, at this point in the game, I'm not investing any more learning points into mana. They're simply getting too expensive. But I've never really had a clear cutoff point in my mind for where I wanted to stop spending learning points on them. So we might end up with an abundance of learning points by the end of the game. Which isn't the end of the world. But I've never really been a min-maxer, as it were. Excuse me. So I don't really have a mathematical breakdown of exactly how I allocate all of my learning points. But anyway, actually I have Oblivion now. I think Pardos is still mad at us. Might be able to chat with him now.
Malik is back.
It's about time. I thought I'd never see him again.
Well, now you have. Everything seems kinda back to normal. Oh, he's fine now.
How's it going with you?
Hey, if it isn't my rescuer. Thanks again. Now I can just relax all day.
All right, I'll be moving on then.
Well, enjoy it while you can, because I don't think Bengar is gonna let you live the easy life on his comfy armchair for the rest of your life.
That's really not my problem.
Who said that?
So we got his book, and we need that. That's actually what Karras has been waiting on from us this whole time. For some reason, I thought I had already given it to him. But this is what happens when I only play this game once every blue moon.
That's been known a long time.
Anything's possible.
Hey! I've got an almanac of the possessed here. Perhaps you can find some use for it.
Show me. Yes, that may do. I will examine the book, but I'm already sure of one thing. In my opinion, the Seekers are an utterly perverted life form created by Beliar. These beings are of partly demonic and partly human origin. However, I am still unable to tell at this point whether we are looking at a type of spiritual possession or a purely physical mutation. Come back later. Then I will certainly know more.
Certainly. So I think we just have to wait a couple days and he'll have something for us. But for now,
Could have told you that before.
I want to head to Lobart's farm. Because I believe we left Vino waiting there. he was taken away by the Seekers up to the stone circle above the farm. And we were not equipped at the time to deal with that. So, hopefully they haven't done anything unfortunate with him. Now, we actually would still struggle with this. So the problem with this is that once you engage the Seekers, one of them usually targets Vino. So that becomes a real problem because we need to take them out pretty quickly. I'm actually going to leave these two be. So this is going to be one of the occasions where I burn a Fire Rain spell. There might be alternative strategies. There's simply too many of them up here to deal with right now. That would take quite an effort and a bit of luck to really pull it off without him getting killed. Because we essentially... You see the three here. There's one more right up there inside the stone circle. And he's standing very close to Vino. So the trick is... We need to be able to kill at least that one without these really kicking our ass. So let me see if there is in fact a way we can avoid burning a Fire Rain. The only way that's gonna work is if I can freeze and lightning bolt that asshole without these guys raising a ruckus. Which I suppose is doable from up here. For some reason I thought those guys are spread out a bit more and they would give you too much trouble to try and get behind them.
But they're smashing each other's stones.
Alright. That was easier than I expected. These guys didn't even notice. Wow, okay, they do not aggro with each other. Okay, yes they do. Oh, no! Shit, that one targeted him now. Alright, so that screws with this. For some reason I was convinced only the one on top would target him. So that's a problem. Alright, well. There's a reason we hang on to these things. The trouble is gonna be getting the sweet spot where we can hit all four of them without hitting Vino.
But they're smashing each other's stones.
And looks like I hit the sweet spot. Piece of cake. And they do actually have dialogue if you try to approach. They mention... They're kind of the same kind of dialogue of all the possessed guys, but... No idea why it took four of them to... Four of them and apparently one good reefer to possess Vino here.
Soon we shall command them all. You and your pathetic magic skills are no danger to us.
Well, they're a danger to this idiot.
Hey, wow.
Don't tell me to watch it. As you can see, the Drain Energy spell trivializes most of these encounters, which could be pretty rough for mages, since you're trying to not kill these guys, obviously. Yeah, I gotta eat all these. Unfortunately, we are stifled, but I'm gonna wait to drink the potion until we find the next one.
Wait a minute.
I don't talk to filthy
Right. I mentioned before that this spell breaks aggro, so hitting them afterwards counts as a hostile act. So, to get them back to normal, we gotta hit them with one of these.
You're not yourself.
My head!
dead. I can't stand it anymore.
You should go to the monastery. Pyrokar, the highest fire magician, might be able to help you.
Do you think? Well, okay, I'll give it a try.
You do that, buddy. I mean, it would make sense for us to escort him there. Well, whatever. I guess he'll manage on his own. Hopefully he doesn't run into any more Seekers. I don't think old Lobarto has anything to say about that.
Hey, you!
Oh, he does.
Vino isn't going to come back. They drove him insane.
Bye, Innes. Hopefully this nightmare will be over soon.
Oh, it won't be. Did we dealt with Hilda, right? Gave her medicine. Yes, we did. Alright. The next fellow is who? Bromor, right in town.
We see you, worm. You cannot escape us.
Wasn't trying to. Now get yourself out here. We don't have to worry about anybody else. No, not Borka.
And now for some action.
So, Bromor is a very tough customer. He only has a dagger, but he can hit pretty hard. And we get his gold dish back. So after all that, we had our night of fun for free. Also, I don't know if I mentioned before, but I'm pretty sure the Oblivion spells don't work on somebody who's on the ground. You have to wait until they're standing up.
Oh, man. My head.
Wait a minute. You are possessed.
We don't actually need it for him.
What? Why are you talking about? Get out of here!
What was that extra sound clip at the end there?
Someone's gotta do the work.
For all your stuff, I'll give you 650 gold pieces.
Not bad.
All right, sold.
Good deals. Okie dokie.
That's no secret.
So that's about that. Let's head back to the monastery. Let's have a sip on this good draft. We can turn in these remaining almanacs to Pyrokar. Now bear in mind, Pyrokar's magic letter is actually quite magic. Every chapter, it'll update itself with new names.
I can tell you even more about those possessed.
Speak, brother.
I've got even more books of the Seekers for you.
That is good. I am afraid, however, that there are more of these to find. Go on searching. Take this. It is a gift from the monastery which will help you when you face evil. And remember to have a look at my magic letter once in a while. It is possible that they may try the same on others whose names were not yet found in the almanacs.
Yeah, no new names yet, but once we hit chapter 4, I'm pretty sure it adds a couple. But for now, let's have a couple days of naps. And find out what Karras has come up with.
Hey! Found out anything new about the Seekers yet?
Yes. Now I know who or what the Seekers really are.
Fire away.
They were once human, like you or I. They made the abominable mistake of devoting themselves to the impure magic of a very powerful archdemon. Under the influence of this archdemon, as well as very powerful drugs, they existed only to serve him until they were reduced to mere shadows of themselves. Today, they are nothing but tools of evil, without a will of their own, and they will never cease to hunt the followers of Innos. We must be careful. They still seem to shun these hallowed halls of Innos. However, if their power continues to grow, I don't know if we'll still be safe here.
Thanks, that was very enlightening.
Indeed. That only raises more questions for me. For example, who were they before, and which archdemon made them what they are now?
I've got a notion. This all sounds like the Brotherhood of the Sleeper. I know those guys.
I hope you know what you're getting involved in. Take care of yourself, my brother. But of course, here is your almanac. I don't need it any longer.
Is there a way to protect oneself against the mental attacks of the Seekers?
Indeed. An amulet prepared with stone from blessed soil could have a protective effect. Unfortunately, I do not have enough of these stones available. Some of our prayer shrines which we have erected are composed of them.
All right, I'll scare up some of that.
Yes, do that. But don't even think of damaging the shrines, do you hear me?
Would never consider it. Luckily, we stumbled across one of these. It was actually on... It was some time ago, so don't blame me if you don't remember, but this was actually sitting behind the shrine near Malith the Shepherd on Lobart's farm. So if you want to grab this, just start from Zardas's tower and head towards town. First shrine you see, that's the one I get this from.
Hey, you! I've got some stone here from blessed soil.
Good. I hope all the prayer shrines are still in their places.
They sure are.
I shall make you a protective amulet against the black look of the Seekers. Give me some time. I shall get right to work.
Very good. So we'll have to give him a few more days now.
Hey! So what about the protective amulet you promised me?
I'm finished. Here, take a look. It has turned out beautifully. Carry it with you always, and the Seekers will not be able to drag you down into their mental abyss.
Thank you.
So very important what he said there. He said carry it. I did not know for years that you do not actually need to wear it. Just needs to be in your inventory. Because yes, it is equipable. It has no functions otherwise. But as long as it is in your inventory, every time a Seeker talks to you, it does not start to possess you, which means you don't have to worry about being stifled and being unable to rest.
How are you?
Yeah, all right already. I think the boys here can help me, but I still feel really dizzy. But I have to say, their wine is the best I've ever tasted.
Well, there's perks to everything, I guess. So, there's one last fella I want to talk to before we wrap this up here. Somebody who might be interested in what we have uncovered on the nature of these Seekers. So the curious thing about Lester, even though he has safe places to stay, in Chapter 3, after you talk to him outside the Valley of Mines, and he gives you the rune to get back to Zardas, he decides to make his way all the way back down to his camp here. Apparently he doesn't feel safe staying with Zardas, which is bizarre to me. But if you wait until Chapter 5, he actually ends up back up there. But I don't feel like waiting that long just to go over this. I actually find it kind of a shame that this valley here wasn't used for more in the final game. It's a cool starting area, but it seems like a wasted opportunity for some cool stuff later on.
You didn't look all that hot.
I don't feel all that hot either, man. I'm totally wiped out, and I've got a constant headache. Every time one of those Black Hoods shows up, it gets worse.
And I can tell you exactly why.
Yeah? I don't think I want to know.
These Black Hoods, or the Seekers, as we magicians call them, used to be the followers of a powerful archdemon. Does that ring a bell?
No. Unless you're trying to tell me that...
Yes, exactly. The Seekers used to be followers of the Sleeper, the renegade sect crackpots from the Swamp Camp. They're your people, Lester, the former Brotherhood of the Sleeper. Now, they're nothing but soulless minions of evil.
I had a notion, but I hoped it wasn't true. Do you mean he came back? Is the Sleeper here again?
Good question. All I know for sure is that I need to stop the Seekers before they become too powerful.
I don't like it. But I suppose you're right. I'm sorry, but all this crap is getting to my head. I think I'll have a rest first.
Rest first? Before what? You weren't gonna do anything. I find it kind of funny how the hero delivers that bit. Didn't really have a whole lot of sensitivity for what would probably be a bitter pill for Lester to swallow there. Thinking that a lot of his friends... I think specifically these Seekers are supposed to be any of the survivors who left the sect camp with Kor Kalam. But given what we heard Lester say, when the Sleeper was banished at the end of the first game, he said that everyone around him kind of went apeshit. Basically, the loss of influence of the Sleeper, even though none of them really followed him anymore, he was still ingrained in their minds. So when his influence left and his final enraged scream really struck them, a lot of them didn't take it too well. Lester managed to keep his cool, because he wasn't I don't think he was really that devoted to begin with, but just by proximity and the rituals, he certainly was under the influence. But, yeah, I think we probably could have delivered that with a bit of a softer blow. But the interesting thing about the Truth of the Seekers is that that is information you only get as a mage. We never find that out as either of the other guilds. So that's kind of one of the weird perks of being a mage in this game, is you get a little extra story. It is interesting. It's one of those things that adds replay value, but some people would probably be miffed that you miss out on something so critical to, you know, the development of the story here, just because you didn't want to play as a mage. But it's actually, it reminds me that the instruction manual for this game, if you got a box copy, actually very specifically says that playing as a mage is only for advanced players, people who have gotten familiar with the game, because it's trickier to pull off, even trickier than it was in the first game. I've said before, in vanilla, it actually became harder to level up your physical skills and attributes. They cost more learning points than normal without the Night of the Raven expansion. They changed that in Night of the Raven. It was the only thing they really did to make the game easier. But yeah, I guess that was something they wanted to add for the people who wanted to replay it, was a little bit of extra lore to really spice up the game. Anyway, this ended up going quite a bit longer than I thought this episode would, so we're going to call it here. Next episode, we should be making our way back to the Valley of Mines. I might do a bit of grinding off-screen to try and get some learning points, and maybe might throw down on learning to read some stone tablets. But until next time, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very kindly for watching. Don't forget to follow on Twitch if you want to see live streams every weekend. New schedule is every Saturday and Sunday at noon EST, so adjust for your time zones. If you want, you can join the Discord in the link in the description below. Otherwise, have yourselves a wonderful week. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and see you next time.